Hello dears, welcome again to this channel, and today we are going to find out if those who are interested have mastered Swahili grammar. As today's title of the subject, you see it here, Swahili grammar. We are going to do this by explaining some grammar words, then I'll ask grammar questions after each explanation. At the end, we'll also see how each one has scored. And the objective of today's subject is to learn grammar rules and the grammatical meanings of Swahili words. Karibuni sana. The first one that we are going to look at is which word is missing. We are going to start with the inverted conditional sentence using the word if. If means kama in English. So here we have an example for a sentence. If I stop teaching Swahili today, what will happen? It means, kama nikiacha kufundisha Kiswahili leo, nini kitatokea? We can change this question by replacing if with the question emphasis je. Please write the missing part in this sentence by using je. Nikiacha kufundisha Kiswahili leo, nini kitatokea? Nikiacha kufundisha Kiswahili leo, nini kitatokea? This sentence in English can be translated as if I stop teaching Swahili today, what will happen? Sometimes the if can be silent. So I didn't want to write here kama nikiacha kufundisha Kiswahili leo nini kitatokea, so that you can replace it with je. I want you as you learn to know where you can put the je and change this to a question with the emphasis je. Now about joining words. Let us look at how we can join different words using two words, not only and, but or but also. This the structure is the same as in English. Not only in Swahili means sio tu, and but or but also it means lakini pia. When joining sentences, you can use sio tu and lakini, or sio tu and lakini pia. So the example that we have here, number one is hakuwa tu na njaa, bali pia alikuwa na kiu sana. Hakuwa tu na njaa, bali pia alikuwa na kiu sana. Sometimes you can also say hakuwa na njaa tu, bali alikuwa na kiu pia, or bali alikuwa na kiu sana. This hakuwa tu na njaa, bali pia alikuwa na kiu sana can be translated as he was not only hungry, but he was also very thirsty. This sentence is an inversion with a negative adverbial rule. And the rule is you have an adverbial plus auxiliary verb plus the subject. Now, there are two sentences below here. You can try joining them by using not only but also. Sio tu lakini pia. The first one is hakuvaa viatu. Hakuvaa viatu, and number two is hakuchana nywele. So you are all seeing the negative adverbial in both sentences. Hakuvaa viatu, hakuchana nywele. Number three, extended words with different meanings. There are many Swahili words that look the same but have different English meanings. I'll show some cards at the end of the session for you to learn about some words with different meanings or more than one meaning. Today we are going to look at two words. We are going to look at two words, but there are other more words that have more than one meaning or two different meanings, and you find that the word is the same. So we are going to see toka. Toka in English means go, or going out, or get out. Toka is go out, going out, or get out. Go is different. Go is nenda, but go out is toka. Get out is toka. Tokea means coming from. Coming from, and it can be maybe you are coming from a certain place, or even when you are speaking about where your origin place, where you are born, you are in Swahili you can use the word tokea. So ninatoka Arusha, it means I am from Arusha. Ninatokea Arusha, it means I am coming from Arusha. The meaning can be the same, but sometimes when you look at the context, ninatokea Arusha, it can mean you are born in Arusha. So maybe you are introducing yourself by saying ninatokea Arusha, meaning Arusha is the region that you are born. Ninatoka nyumbani sasa. Ninatoka nyumbani sasa can be translated as I am getting out of the house now. I am getting out of the house now, or I am from home. Ninatokea nyumbani kwenda shambani. I am coming from home to the farm. So here you can see how ninatoka and ninatokea are translated differently. You can also say ninatokea kusini. Ninatokea kusini means I am coming from the south. For example, in Tanzania, the regions which are in the southern part of the country are called kusini. When someone says kusini, it refers to those regions. Maybe the person is coming from one of the regions in the southern part of the country. Now the question here, you can try to write one sentence using toka or tokea. If you can write both, toka and tokea, it is well and good, but you can try to write one, even if not in the comments section, but you can also try to exercise if you have an exercise book. But I'll be happy if you write it here so that I can see how each has performed. Number 4, the pronunciations of letter L and R. A number of Africans, and in particular Tanzanians, pronounce L instead of R and vice versa. And these are more affected by their local language, the native language, maybe you may find someone Swahili is the second language, or Swahili is the first language, and the person also knows the tribal language. This L and R affects much on Swahili. At times, these letters, when not used correctly, they change the meaning of the word. And some people have challenges of letters S. They pronounce S instead of Z, A instead of H. And here are some correct pronunciations and the mistakes that are made by some speakers. So some people may say nitarudi instead of saying nitarudi, meaning I'll come back. When the person wants to say nitarudi, meaning I'll come back, you may hear nitarudi. So you know that this person is affected by the local language or the tribal language that he or she speaks. And others, in Tanzania, especially those from the north part of Tanzania, Kilimanjaro region, they don't have a Z in their pronunciations. So you may hear them saying hiso instead of hizo, meaning those. So where there is letter Z, they pronounce as S. And others, they cannot pronounce a as asubuhi. You may hear them saying hasubuhi. And part of this person who cannot differentiate, who find difficult to pronounce H and A differently, are those coming from the Lake regions, Lake Victoria regions of Tanzania. Akuja instead of saying hakuja, meaning he or she did not come. So if I may know, which letters do you find it difficult to pronounce? Do you pronounce correctly? You don't have the challenges of mixing L and R, S and Z, or A and H? Please comment below. Number 5, Swahili words positions. Now listen to these two Swahili words positions. Kesho, meaning tomorrow. And tell me which word position is correct. Number 1 or number 2? Number 1, kesho tutakwenda Msumbiji. Kesho tutakwenda Msumbiji means tomorrow we'll go to Mozambique. Kesho is tomorrow. Msumbiji is Swahili name for Mozambique. Or the second sentence, tutakwenda Msumbiji kesho. Tutakwenda Msumbiji kesho. We'll go to Mozambique tomorrow. So here you see at the sentence number 1, kesho starts at the before you continue with the sentence. The first thing you mention is kesho or tomorrow, and the second one is kesho comes at the last position of the sentence. So which of these two is correct? Now let us look at Swahili habitual phrases. I know this is easier for you, especially those who have listened to our previous Swahili sessions on habitual sentences. Which word you can add to explain about habitual tense? We have two sentences here. One, mimi dash dash kazini, meaning I dash dash to work. So add a word that will make this sentence habitual phrase. Mimi dash dash kazini dash dash. I dash dash to work dash dash. You can use verbs such as kwenda, kufika, kutoka, as well as other words such as everyday, usually, seldom, etc. to answer these questions and make them habitual phrases. Number 7, which is a correct sentence? Between these two sentences, which one do we think is correct? Number 1, ilinichukua muda mrefu kupona homa. Ilinichukua muda mrefu kupona homa. It took me a long time to recover from fever. Or it took me a long time to get over fever. Ilinichukua, it took me, muda mrefu, a long time, kupona, to recover from or get over, homa is fever. And the second sentence is the same, ilinichukua muda mrefu homa kupona. Ilinichukua muda mrefu homa kupona. It took me a long time to recover from fever or to get over fever. It has the same meaning in English, but in Swahili, positions can change. And the point to remember before answering the question is to recover is a non-separable phrasal verb. One cannot put the object before the verb. Now you have an idea. I've given you a tip on how you can answer this question. Number 8 is punctuation. Which one of these sentences is punctuated correctly? I am going to read all these sentences, and each of them I'll read according to the punctuation, and you'll tell me which one is correct. Number 1, mchana nilikula wali, maharage na nyama. Mchana nilikula wali, maharage na nyama. In the afternoon I ate rice, beans and meat. In the afternoon I ate rice, beans and meat. Number 2, mchana nilikula wali, maharage na nyama. Mchana nilikula wali, maharage na nyama. In the afternoon I ate rice, beans and meat. In the afternoon I ate rice, beans and meat. Number 3, mchana nilikula wali, maharage na nyama. Mchana nilikula wali, maharage na nyama. In the afternoon I ate rice, beans and meat. In the afternoon, I ate rice, beans, and meat. And that is all for today. Please click on the cards up here to learn more about Swahili words and Swahili grammar in general. Thank you for learning with me.